I'm Steve Adubato. This is State of Affairs. We are clearly taping remotely. We're taping on the 20th of March. You'll see that information on the television screen as you watch this program. Our job is not to talk specifically about what's going on with the coronavirus day by day, week by week, but rather looking at the broader implications, the ramifications of that. In that vein, we are joined by our good friend who's been with us many times. Michele Siekerka is the President and Chief Executive Officer of the New Jersey Business and Industry Association. You're safe and doing well, Michele?
Yeah, we're hanging in there, Steve.
Yeah. So let's do this. Right before we got on the air, I told you that I was reading, along with many others, about a survey that you and your organization did asking business people what they need, where they are. And again, we're taping in March, late March. 54% then of the businesses you surveyed said that they're negatively impacted. They were negatively impacted. 40% of them said that they expected to reduce staff. 37% say they'll need to reduce employee hours, and it goes on. That's now. Why?
Well, we've, for all intents and purposes, shut down certain industries, number one, and number two, businesses, out of an abundance of caution, are inviting their staffs or ordering their staffs to work remotely. When you start doing things like that, you're messing with your traditional business model, of course, and that means that you're potentially going to need less staff, number one. Number two, this is all about concern and expense reduction. People are hearing terms like indefinite closure. And right now, when you hear something like that, you say, oh my gosh, I got to hold on to what limited resource I may have for as long as I can. And when people think about limiting their resources, certainly they talk about, their own buying and their own habits of how they spend money. But the biggest expense any company has is their employees. And Steve, let me just say that term layoff, all the businesses I spoke with, I've heard heartbreaking stories. The last thing any New Jersey business wants to do or wanted to do was lay off their workers.
But public health always comes first. We agree.
We agree.
But this is an unintended, if you will, potential and very real consequence for many, many businesses. And that, talk about the ripple effect, if you will. If more and more people are quote unquote laid off, if businesses are shutting down, reducing hours to try to stay open. Not that you know this for sure, because last time I checked, you're really smart, but you don't have a crystal ball. What do you believe the longer term implications will be for the state, the region, and the nation?
Yeah, there are going to be some long-term ramifications. If you just go back and think about Superstorm Sandy, for example, we lagged coming out of Superstorm Sandy. It's difficult. Right now, we are focused on thinking long-term. So let me put it this way, right? There's a lot of emergent consideration going on to get money and capital moving quickly for employees and for employers, right? So EDA is looking at programs, just got
Economic Development Authority, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Thank you, yes. We have regular briefing calls to keep up to date and also for us to inform. The purpose of our survey was for us to inform in real time EDA and the governor's office and our policymakers about what business needs. So there are those emergent needs, but at the same time, we need to already be thinking about the long-term economic stimulus package that we're going to need when we start coming out of this at the other end, because it's not just going to be like, okay, turn the lights on and here we go, right? There's going to be a ramp up. And the more prepared we are earlier on, the stronger our businesses will be, the quicker they can bounce back, and then the quicker the economy will be as well, or the better off the economy will be.
You're listening to Michele Siekerka, watching Michele Siekerka, obviously remotely. If there are any technical difficulties, I apologize for that. That's on my end. Let me just also say this. I'm curious about this. We talk about the long-term implications. You talk about a stimulus package. We're going to be joined by Senate President Steve Sweeney in just a little bit to tape that interview. He has a plan. Others have a plan. What exactly do you believe state government should be doing with this, quote, stimulus package? And what should the federal government be doing, and how much impact could all these things have?
Well, federal government's going to play a big part in this because I'm very concerned that the needs at the local and state level are going to far exceed the ability to provide financial capacity. And I think we're hearing that in real time. So we're counting on our federal delegation as well to be fighting for us down in D.C. You know that oftentimes New Jersey we're a giver state, which means we give more to D.C. than we get back in the ordinary course of business. However, in the times of crisis, everyone realizes what an economic hub we are here in the Northeast. That's why we did well with federal funding post-Sandy. But at the state level, we need our state leadership right now to be doing everything they can in order to broaden the definition of covered individuals for purposes of income continuity right now.
What does that mean?
I'm the most concerned about our smallest of businesses, Steve, and those sole entrepreneurs aren't necessarily eligible under traditional unemployment. And so we need to ensure that we can have income continuity for those small businesses who are the heart of New Jersey.
Can government provide direct grants without busting the budget? By the way, a state assemblyman, John Bramnick, was with us, who's a fiscal conservative, who said, Steve, this year, if we bust the budget to do this, I'm fine with that. Direct grants and or loans to businesses. If we bust the budget, you okay with that?
Well, we have to worry about right now because we need to ensure that people can buy food, feed their families, keep their shelter, and be safe. You know, we said before that the human factor comes first. We'll work our way out of the economic factor, but we have to be smart about it, Steve, right? These programs have to be easily accessible as well. We're here to help our businesses kind of traverse the bureaucracy that some of these programs can sometimes have. So we need to be conscious of being able to hold their hand in order to get access to this capital as soon as it's flowing. And
by the way, let's be clear, post-Superstorm Sandy, Michele is being kind by talking about the bureaucracy, the red tape, the bureaucracy, the confusion, the conflicting information made it so hard for so many people and businesses to access government help. Fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, I was at DEP at that time. I was in a role of a person overseeing numerous of the federal programs that we were implementing on the ground here in the state of New Jersey. And I want to be fair, because when I say they're complicated programs, the federal programs are extremely cumbersome. The state programs had their challenges as well. So we need to look at these programs and make sure, again, that they're easily accessible and easy to traverse the applications so that folks can get access quickly. And before I let you go, we've had a long-standing media partnership with your magazine and with your organization. If people want to access your website, how can they do that, Michele? www.njbia.org. And now I'm going to add that we have a resource page that we are updating in real time. So take that same web address and put a /coronavirus at the end and stay up to date with us in real time, because we are updating it literally by the minute. Michele Siekerka from BIA, that's the Business and Industry Association in New Jersey. Michele, thank you. Stay safe to you and your team. All the best. Looking forward to seeing you face-to-face soon. Thanks, Steve. You as well. We're here taking care of New Jersey business. Absolutely. This is Steve Adubato. This is State of Affairs, and we will be right back.
State of Affairs with Steve Adubato is a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. Funding has been provided by Holy Name Medical Center, the Turrell Fund, supporting Right from the Start NJ, the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, New Jersey Board of Public Utilities Clean Energy Program, Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield of New Jersey, the Northward Center, the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, NJM Insurance Group, IBEW Local 102, and by these public-spirited organizations, individuals, and associations committed to informing New Jersey citizens about the important issues facing the Garden State, and by Employers Association of New Jersey. Promotional support provided by New Jersey Monthly and by New Jersey Globe.